subscribing to the channel. I post 2 times a week on Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I recommend wearing headphones to better hear the gentle mic brushing. And now you might hear the sound of my shirt sleeves. They're made out of like a faux leather, so they make a little bit of a noise. Hopefully that's a good thing for you. If not, I apologize. So, before we get into today's case, which is going to be a detailed discussion of the disappearance of little Harmony Montgomery from New Hampshire. Before we get into that, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsor for today's video. That is June's Journey. Now, if you have never heard of June's Journey before, it is a game that you can download for free by clicking on the link in the description box. This game is available for Android and iOS devices, plus on PC through Facebook Games. June's Journey is a hidden objects mystery game. It is set in the Roaring 20s. You're helping June to solve a murder mystery, and the way you do that is by finding the hidden objects in various exciting scenes. The more scenes you're able to clear, the more clues you'll get to help you solve the mystery. This kind of game is absolutely perfect for people like yourself and me, because clearly we really enjoy trying to solve crimes and mysteries. What I really love most about this game is all of the beautiful graphics and the detailed scenery. And of course, I also love the relaxing nature of the gameplay. You're able to play at your own leisure without feeling the pressure that you often feel in so many other games. And I love the 1920s setting. FBI split up these siblings, but they were told that the custody of Harmony was now being returned to the biological father, Adam. So that was that. Meanwhile, I'm showing you some images of Jameson, now 5 years old, in a very happy home. And wouldn't it have been so amazing if they had allowed this family to adopt Harmony as well? But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, they were residing, the mother, Crystal, was residing in Massachusetts in February of 2019, and she lost custody, and Adam got custody. Now, let's take a little step back, and let's learn about Adam. And after I finish telling you what I know about Adam, you're gonna say you would not even leave your pet goldfish with this man, let alone a child who was at the time 5. Okay, 5-year-old child. Let's give custody to this man. Okay, Adam Montgomery, born on January 22nd, 1990. Alright, so he has had a ton of run-ins with the law. I won't even be able to tell you about all of them because that would be an entire video. Okay. So let's start in 2006 when he was 16. He was charged with possession of a dangerous weapon on school grounds. Okay. In 2007, he followed a 15-year-old girl into her house, screaming that she had stolen his cell phone, and he was charged with burglary and misdemeanor simple assault. That was dismissed, luckily for him. Later that year, he was charged with threatening his 15-year-old ex-girlfriend with a knife, and he spent 110 days in jail. Okay, so does he sound good yet? Okay, it gets worse. In 2008, he stabbed a youth, so whatever that means, an underage person, in the leg and pushed him out of a moving vehicle. Why, you might ask? Because Adam believed he was being sold fake drugs. Okay. So for that, he was sentenced to 4 years, and he served 383 days. Okay, we're not done. No, we're not done. In 2008, when he was 18, he became a major suspect in a murder case. There was a man who was found shot outside of a convenience store in the parking lot, and it was found that Adam was meeting that man that night. We don't know for what. And the convenience store owner said that prior to the shooting, unsettled by this. Right after that day, her number had become blocked by Adam, and she could not get in contact with her daughter at all anymore. Now, she continuously went to the authorities for help. You know, she kept telling everyone who could listen, everyone who might listen, that something wasn't right, that her daughter was afraid, that she had no more contact with her. She had even driven over there looking for her, going to different schools, trying to find her, but she couldn't. And other family members were also reaching out, like, where is Harmony? What is the deal? Now, in July of that year, so it was April 2019 when Crystal last heard from Harmony, okay, because she was cut off. Now, in July of that year, Adam's uncle, Kevin, he went over to the house and he found that Harmony had a black eye. So Adam said, yeah, I bashed her around the house. That's what he said. And Kevin asked why. And he said that he had left Harmony, who was 5, to watch her baby brother while Adam was in the bathroom. And when he came out of the bathroom, the baby was crying, and Harmony was trying to make him be quiet by putting her hand over his mouth. So that's why he hit her at that time. And Kevin also said that he had seen other occasions when she had been forced to stand in the corner for hours. She had been spanked, and she had been forced to clean the toilet with her own toothbrush. So he did report all of that to the Department of Children and Family, whatever they call it over there. And nothing came of it. Nothing. Nothing at all. The last time that Harmony was officially seen was in October of 2019, when officials were called to the house. Now, I don't know anything about that visit. I looked high and low and I can't find out what went on that day. If anything much, I don't know, but that is the last time. Okay. Now, people like neighbors or family or, locals reported seeing her up to November 27th, around Thanksgiving. And then after that, no more. Nobody has reported to have seen her beginning on November 28th, 2019. Okay. And right after that, the family was evicted from their house in Manchester at that time. And people saw Adam, Kayla, and their 2 children living she is missing. On December 31st, the Manchester police announce that she is a missing girl. Okay. And they are very upset, obviously concerned, distraught over the fact that she's already been missing for all this time and nobody has looked. So, they say that the first few hours, first couple of days, are the most important. And now it's over 2 years later, and they are first becoming aware that she's missing. Why is that? So, they announce that. They put up, the missing flyers, and they go on the news. They start offering rewards. Now, the rewards have been growing and growing and growing. So I can't even say for sure what it's up to now. Last thing I read was maybe 142,000. It's probably more by now. And I'm going to leave the phone number in the description in case you have any information at all. So they go and they look for Adam that same day, December 31st, and they find him living in his car, sleeping in his car, okay, with his new girlfriend, a different girl that we don't need to talk about. And they say to him, where's your daughter? And he says, I don't know. I gave her to Crystal back in November. Crystal is the biological mother. Yeah. She got the custody back and I gave Harmony to her. And they're like, no, that didn't happen. That's not right. So he said, I have nothing else to say, and if I'm not under arrest, I'm leaving. He was arrested in Manchester on January 4th, 2022, and he was charged with 1 felony count of second-degree assault, 1 misdemeanor charge of interference with custody, and 2 misdemeanor charges of endangering the welfare of a child, to which he pled not guilty. Now, I should let you know that this arrest was only for the assault of Harmony that Kevin, the uncle, had reported. The black eye. That's it. They have nothing else. They don't have any evidence or, any proof of, to say that he did anything else at this point. Alright, so this is a start. This is all that they could immediately get him on. She also admitted that she had been collecting like food stamp type benefits for Harmony for over a year. It turned out to be $1,500 worth of benefits when Harmony was not around or not living with her. She claimed that she tried to get Harmony's name like off the case, you know, to stop receiving benefits, but it never like came through. So she was arrested, okay, and like it was the day after Adam was arrested, so like, January 5th, 2022, she was arrested and charged with this welfare fraud. She was released on bail, so she's awaiting, you know, she'll be going back to court for that, I am sure, and she is pleading not guilty. By the way, not important really, but they did wind up having another child, Kayla and Adam, so they now have a total of 3 children, all younger than Harmony. Alright, so what do you think about this case? What are your thoughts? I will share some of my thoughts. Number 1, I am truly, truly hoping that Harmony will be found safe and healthy in the not too distant future. But having said that, I don't know what will happen, truthfully. I mean, what could have happened to her? I never understand these things. Like, you don't want custody of her. What's the deal? Just, why did you take custody? You know, why didn't you let the family in Washington, D.C. take her with her brother? You know, why? I just don't get it. It doesn't seem like he really ever wanted her. So he took her maybe despite the biological mother. I don't know. Is that enough of a reason? I mean, he already had other children at home to care for, and I don't think he had any real employment other than crimes. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did do some kind of work that I just don't know about. But he just doesn't seem like a huge family guy. I mean, I shudder to think, like, the main thing that always comes into my mind nowadays, since I started learning more about true crime, is that people sell their daughters, their little daughters, and it used to be I would just think, you know, if you asked me like a year ago, either she's missing somewhere, like she got kidnapped, you know, by like people who wanted a child, or he killed her. Those would be the only 2 things that I would think of. But now I realize that there's a lot of people out there selling their daughters, and how sick and demented that is, and evil and horrible, and I can't even come up with the words. This is your child. This doesn't even matter if it's your child. This is a child. This is a human being. What are you doing? This poor defenseless little thing. You're selling them for. They're gonna be tortured every day. Like, it's awful. I mean, I hope he didn't do that. I really, really hope that that is not what happened. But what could have happened? Like, what are the options? It's not like she just wandered away and then nobody found her, you know? I mean, if she had just like went missing in a normal way, somebody